Kwa wakati huu nitaomba kila mtu tuinuke kwa wimbo wa taifa. We are getting a word of prayer from our chaplain.
King of kings and Lord of lords, he who dwells in the heavenlies above, hallowed be thy name today and forevermore. We are gathered this day under this roof for a dissemination of a report. Together with our young ones, King of glory, we are gathered here. As we commence in a very, very special way, we want to invoke your presence in our midst. We pray for a jocund moment, and we pray that you are going to be found in our midst. Bless our Waziri and her team and all the departments who are hereby represented. Be with us until we come to the very logical conclusion of the same. For this is my sincere, humble circumambulation this morning, for I supplicate in the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Somebody say amen.
Amen. That's a very powerful prayer, and at this moment I believe we are connected to the heavens. And going forward, I believe everything has been put in the hands of God. And we will be moving on very smoothly up to the very conclusion of the day's activities. I have come to another very moment that we need to have our introductions. And the introductions, I stand guided, should be done in a stratified way. And I'm looking around to see where Sukila is. And kindly come, please. We need to have this guided introduction according to what we have. And therefore that will be becoming very important. So I will be able to call for introductions for those who are coming from the county government, and then for the non-state actors, Banajafet Ojiji will be leading in those introductions. So as the host of the day and all protocols stand, allow me to make an introduction of those whom we expect to be in this forum. Let me see everybody from the county government rising except from the front desk. We have a very big number, and I think it is prudent. This is not a big number. We can quickly mention our names and where we work, so that for the purposes of the gathering here, we don't refer to each other as Nani. Let me start from this far end.
Good morning. My name is Deputy Director of Education. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicholas Ayeta, Sub-County Administrator of Homabay Township County.
Morning. My name is Eric Yakin, Sub-County Administrator, Day 1. I just want to request the county staff, just have a seat, and when you introduce yourself, you raise up. Guys, we don't have a lot of standing to stand all the time. Okay? So, then
Thank you. Morning, everyone. My name is Robinson Magak, Sub-County Admin, Patrol South Sub-County.
I'm Daniel Simba, the Sub-County Admin, Patrol East.
Good morning. My name is Irene Adika, Deputy Director HR of the county.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dominic Boya, of Partnership and External Relations.
Good morning. I'm Jacqueline Odin, Deputy Director, Disaster Special Projects. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Ivana Metasara, Deputy Director, Administration.
Good morning. My name is Ken Diopio, Deputy Director, Department of Agriculture.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Victor, the coordinator. Sasa.
Good morning. I'm Zuleika Ogalo, Protocol Officer.
My name is James Mukaya, I'm the Deputy Council Secretary.
My name is Joseph Ayeko, Director MD, Government Service Development Unit.
Dr. Mbeko Kennedy, Governmental Relations.
You will leave there relieved. Otherwise, at this point, allow me call on a Jeffrey Kadijo to take to the podium and do the other introductions.
Thank you, Director. Straight to the introduction of participants here. The County Civil Society Network.
Network for Adolescents and Youth of Africa. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cecil Ovino, representing the EMS for IDF.
George Kennedy Mola is my name. I represent Homabay County Youth Network. I'm a member of the CSO Homabay.
Morning, I'm Chen Benedict Ogutu, representing ECO.
Good morning. My name is Steve Juma. I represent Sian Kenya. It's County Youth and Adolescent Network. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Mwanzia Dennis, representing Gender Violence Government Center, GVRC. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ambassador Willis Okeobulo. I'm a climate change ambassador and also chairman of Alwara Makara CBU. Alwara Makara means Guidance and Environment in Law, but also chairing water, environment, forestry, and the Homabay Civil Societies Network. God is good. Evans Otieno, the way.
The CDF Vice Chair, Imam Chilwat. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next category, we have a representative of Tomba University College. Yes.
Good morning. It is not college, fully fledged.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Maero Christopher. I'm a lecturer at Tomba University. I am standing in for Dr. Oa, the function in Nairobi. And so I'm standing in for the center.
Thank you, Karim. Tomba University.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a Ching Young Environment Activist, doubling as Homabay Civil Society Ministers Network Secretary General. Thank you.
Thank you. Waziri, we have another category. We have our visitors from Liguri County Civil Society Network. just renames Father.
God is good, and all the time. My name is Titus Orwa, Migori County Civil Society Organization Forum Secretary General. Karibuni, thank you.
Good morning all. I'm Dorothy Benyeri of Dorothy Adhiambo. I work for CRIMO, Community Resource and Empowerment Organization in Migori County, and I'm also a board member of MIXOF.
God is good, and all the time. My name is Samson Anienda. I work for CRIMO as the project manager. Thank you.
Thank you. We have another category of enumerators who were involved during this exercise. There are 3 of them. You just stand and wave. 3 enumerators. Is Ayata Olivia from Suba South, Sudan. Ayata was in Homabay town. We have Uraia Civic Educators. Uraia, not IDF, Uraia Civic Educators. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Irene Atieno Mama, the Uraia Civic Educator from Homabay Town Constituency. Morning. I'm Olivia Ward, Uraia Civic Educators from
Good morning, everyone. My name is Calvin Ochieng, the Civic Educator of Uraia, Ndiwa Sub-County.
Thank you. Can you miss one Okay, standing voluntarily is the... Okay.
Good morning. I'm Kennedy Oguru, Civic Education Coordinator of Homabay County.
So I just go with that protocol. Tuko na mkubwa hapa.
Good morning. I'm Moya Lois, representing Uraia.
So my don is here. Finally, we have communication teams and also IDF team. Please, wherever you are, you can stand up. Yes, that is Christine. We have Rose, we have Cecil. Where's Bobby? Okay, thank you. Back to you. I'm just a video from IDF.
He was forgetting that he's supposed to be introducing himself. Could we be having any other guests not introduced? Any other guests not introduced? We are coming to the others, but it's okay, I've been brought to that level. Allow me at this point in juncture to introduce our special guests from the front, and I would not want to introduce them. So in this respect, allow me to call Mr. Mokaya to lead in introducing the guests right in front of me.
Good morning, colleagues. I'm not very sure how to introduce the guests at the front, because I think even you can see the challenge that I have. But I humbly want to request our Chief of the Church of Administration, Mr. Ogiri, to introduce himself, which of course I've done, but he can repeat and confirm. Then he can introduce the rest of members at the front.
Good morning, public participation and many other things also, including some.
Thanks so much, Chief. Good morning, colleagues. I'm called Dr. Maxwell Majiwa. I'm the Chief Officer in charge of many directorates, starting by stakeholder management, public participation, special projects, and disaster management. Thank you. You feel welcome.
We also have the honorable member who chairs the committee that this department falls under. I will invite her to introduce herself so that you can get to know.
Thank you, Mr. Bill. God is good, and all the time. My name is Honorable Alice Winga, MCA Kabondo East Ward. I'm the Chair of Public Service and Administration, representing County Assembly. Thank you so much.
And now, I will also give the opportunity to Waziri to also introduce herself, just in case someone here doesn't know her.
Thank you, Isaac. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to the people from Migori. Very special welcome. It's such a pleasure to see all of you. My name is Grace Mercy Osewe. I am the CCM for Governance, Administration, Communication and Evolution. And as you know, this meeting is all about our docket. So karibuni, I look forward to our interactions.
I think it's time to get this back to the Deputy County Secretary. Oh, sorry. Oh, thank you.
It's okay. The Deputy County Secretary stood in for me because I was challenged to introduce the front desk. He did it so well, and only God knows how it will be appreciated. While we were on with the introductions, one of our directors who was committed in some other activities concerning the same just getting in, kindly, Zilpa, stand up and introduce yourself. It will not be a very good and kind thing to go on without having you introduced.
Thank you very much, Director. All protocol observed. Good morning. My name is Zepo Papo, the Director, Urban Development. I'm here to represent my department, which is Land, Housing, Physical Planning and Urban Development. Thank you.
And standing on the existing protocol, at this point in time, we get to the second stage of this, and I would want to invite the representative of Homabay County citizens to perform a ritual. I don't know what this type of ritual is. They know it best. And the representative has already stood up. He will be performing that ritual. I would want to be seated and listening so that next time I know what this ritual means.
Thank you so much, Director Ginga. Thank you so much, everyone, and welcome to this very important occasion in Homabay County. All protocols observed. The CEC, Administration, Communication, Devolution, all chief officers, directors, representatives from the county government, and all residents of Homabay County. It's my pleasure to be here this morning to witness this important event. I am Calvin Onyango Ochieng, a resident of Homabay County, Liwa Sub-County. I would like to thank various stakeholders who participated in development of this citizen report card on the status of social accountability implementation in Homabay County. Their cooperation and inputs made this exercise not only possible, but also easier to execute. Special thanks goes to the citizens and residents of Homabay County who, through focused group discussion, voluntarily and enthusiastically shared experiences in public participation and social accountability. We would also like to thank all officials from the county government of Homabay who participated in the entry meetings, key informant interviews, and whose insights have gone a long way in developing this report. We would like to make particular mention of Ms. Grace Osewe, the Country Executive Member for Governance, Communication, Administration and Devolution, for her leadership in the entire exercise, and Mr. Teddy Oginga, the Director for Public Participation, for coordinating county government officials, including sub-county and ward administrators. Our gratitude goes to all enumerators for their concerted effort to capture the voice of all stakeholders through identification of respondents and engaging them through focus group discussion and key informal interviews. We are also grateful to Mr. Evans Kibet and Ms. Bansi Kubutha, our consultants, for their technical support in the design, data collection, analysis, and compilation of this report. We are greatly indebted to Uraia Trust and the NIDA for financial and technical support. Lastly, but not least, we would like to thank everyone who participated in the generation of this report for their hard work throughout the planning, implementation, and compilation of this report. Thank you.
If I were you, I would have given them a better applause, because silence, patience. You know, it is only coordinated the way he's saying it was coordinated if it goes in unison and in tandem. So I know the owner of this patented club is not here, but I would wish that we use it. The patented club is that we open and drop it at once. So ready, open, drop it. Now that is a patented club in this county that appreciates people in a very unison way. At this point in time, allow me to call the Director of Partnerships and External Relations, Zara Hassan. Zara Hassan, karibu.
Thank you, Director. Good morning once more. My name is Zahra Hassan from the Department of Directorate of Partnership and External Relations. We are here today to disseminate the Citizens Scorecard report and looking into key areas that speak into our work. This is a process that began last year, but we are happy that today we are here to witness what our people, who we consider the beneficiaries, really how they oversee and look into how we deliver our work. So this is the report. It was conducted in 8 sub-counties. 8 sub-counties, if I'm not wrong. And I'm happy that my colleague here, Boya, was also one of the enumerators. So we understand the process deeply, and we can attest to the fact that it's a beneficial report for us, because it's going to help us understand the key areas we need to strengthen, and also we need to engage more. We have expectations from our people. Once their favorite candidate is in office, then for them they just want development. They don't understand there's a process, and the process also requires resources and human resources. So at least through the Department of Public Participation and other departments within the governance department, then they will be able to understand the procedures. We will also be able to get to understand how they perceive the dispensation of our work. So for me today here is just to say I'm looking forward into the report. I'm also looking at how we're gonna adapt the report once it is completed, and how it's gonna help us conduct our work, but also to appreciate our partners who have been very supportive in this process, and also our waziri. She started this process, and I'm happy that she's also here to witness what our people think about us, because this is a raw data. I understand from Bojijo, it has not been edited. This is a report, just as reported by that citizen, and also, you know, how it is not refined. It's a raw data. So thank you guys for coming, and yeah, looking forward to it. Asante.
Thank you so much. I hope we'll do it last time. Okay, let's get ready. Drop it. Characteristically, it becomes a very important point when you are briefed about what is happening. We hope to get more about this report. My sincere elation is that when we are seated down with the citizens of this country, then I see public participation, and you're promoting my directorate. Thank you for believing in me and believing in the work that we are doing, so that when called upon, you respond in the manner you have done. God is happy, and God will never let you down at any point. All protocols observed again. At this point, allow me invite the IDF to make a representation about the citizen report card. Christine, do you want us to do the interview first? Yes. You're in time. St. Paul's, come in and give an item as IDF prepares. for the young girls, you clap the same way, but now that somebody is moderating this session, Brother Jafet, you come over and take over for the time being, leading the appreciation of those little girls as they go, as I take a bottle of water.
Thank you, thank you. A clap for director, please. Sikupige vizuri. Yeah, Waziri, I know people might be shocked to see students and West students. These students do not vote, but we as state and non-state actors, we always decide on behalf of them. Even in terms of policy decision, we decide on behalf of them, and we don't even take the decisions which they have for the policy decision. So sometimes in governance structures, they are very, very much important to start engagement at this early stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we have followed the ritual which is needed by law, the legal ritual, because we are going to present a citizen report card report, which was done by the citizens, and IDF only facilitated the process with support from Danida through Uraia Trust. Waziri, in our presence, we have Uraia Civic Manager, a very senior person with us here, representing the Uraia Trust, and we'll grace this occasion with you as the time goes. We have also audiences through online, various universities, because this is a report which is also used as a research paper, and that's why the Tomboya University Faculty of Science and Arts is here, because probably in this new regime, Homabay County maybe might be the first county to conduct a citizen report card with a specific purpose, which I shall explain. Late last year, Homabay County Department of Governance, Administration, Communication, and Devolution showed an intention to develop the department's service charter. And as you know, service charter defines the service experiences that the service users expect from the service provider. And this only comes when there is a detailed agreement between the service users and the service providers, agreement detailing the entitlement of the citizens in that charter, the obligations, the standards which the citizens expect, and remedy, actions. If the standard fails, what will the citizens do? And the procedure of engagement. These were the key areas which we were looking at. So there was a very good deliberation between the Department of Governance from Homabay County and the partners. And the question was, if we are supposed to develop this service charter, the main user are the citizens. How can we know the perception of citizens? So the perception of citizens detailed in this report does not give a perception of the current regime. I must be very, very much careful here, because previously when there was an anti-corruption cases, most of you thought it was this regime and it was talking about the previous regime. So we must be specific that the baseline survey is coming from which source, and from the new regime they'll pick it from there. So the science around this one was to determine the standards, and we decided first to employ a social accountability tool known as community scorecard, at least to see if we can define and arrive to these standards. Later on, there was a very interesting discussion and very creative one led by my civic manager from Muraya, who is here, who told us that if you want to get the real standards, let us apply community report card. It is one tool which we have not applied. It's very detailed and very much scientific, and that's how we developed that tool. So this citizen report card, part of the recommendations, which is very specific, is on the development of service charter for the Department of Governance as per the recommendations which shall be detailed. So our main objective is to determine the service standards which will inform the service charter. Of course, the process underwent some legal procedures, and for those who will receive the report under the legal framework, you shall have seen how it undergone various sections which have been referred to for this report to be there. Due to time, I'll just go direct to the key findings and the recommendations of the report. We had a technician, sorry for that. It was tested, it was working, so you know, director, we don't have certain IDM, so you know, Christine will be sharing away with that. Okay. So this is a very short presentation of this report. So it is a citizen report card on the status of social accountability implementation in Homabay County, and it is presented today on 30th of January 2024. Please, can you go? Thank you. Can you clap for Zara? No, director take over, so she knows all these things. We can continue, Christine. Next slide. Next slide. Go on, next slide. Now, objectives The presentation online will include the objectives of the Citizen Report Card, process of developing the Citizen Report Card, focus of the Citizen Report Card, the key findings and the key recommendations. And since we have talked about the three, we shall only go to the second ones. Next one. Now, just as we said that the county government of Homabay County, Department of Governance, Administration, Communication and Devolution, committed to develop a departmental service charter in line with Article 174A to I and Article 232 of the Constitution 2010. Service charter, as we said, it details the service offered, entitlements and the obligations derived from the relevant policies in the sector, and put the service delivery units on accountability path. The Citizen Report Card generates the evidence required to inform development of service charters for the department responsible for governance. Specifically for this report, it identifies the good practices, gaps, opportunities for enhancing citizens' participation and social accountability in Homabay County. And more so for this exercise, this report card is going to determine the service standards to inform the content of the service charter. Now, the process of developing this citizen report card has been explained. First, we had an empty meeting at Golden Race. That one can be justified. Then we did the analysis of the social accountability legal frameworks. There was data collection and analysis. All sub-county administrators and about 14 ward administrators were involved through the key informal interviews, and citizens were also met through the focus group discussion. The validation was done late last year, December, at Golden Race, and today we are doing the dissemination. Focus of this citizen report card is on 4 key themes. For those who started this journey, you can remember when we wanted to employ the community scorecard, we targeted the 7 themes. But later on, after key interviews and consultation with the Department of Governance, we arrived for 4 thematic areas. And that is access to information, civic education and public participation, public administration and devolved units, then public compliments and complaint handling. And I've been informed by the consultants that once we shall be having meetings with the committee for the service charter, another key area is going to be developed, and that is the area of the disaster management. Now, the first area of the key findings is on the first theme, access to information. These are the accurate results we receive from the citizens and also from the county, sub-county administrators and the ward administrators. As you can see, Homabay County uses various avenues to facilitate access to information for its citizens. But according to the central units, public forums, digital platforms, and notice boards are the main avenues through which the county disseminates its information to citizens. And as you can see there, 57% of administrators consider these platforms effective because they are convenient and more targeted, allowing them to reach the intended audience with ease. As we were doing the validation, we realized that the county has a website and it currently leverages on the multi-pronged public participation model that starts from the village to the county level to facilitate access to information for its residents. Before the county implements through this model, any project, the citizens are included in the scope of the work and also the management committees are appointed. So we were also notified that the county has a marketing communication model where details of the county functions are published on different media platforms, including WhatsApp and Facebook. The county does not have a designated access to information officers to facilitate the public access to information, and currently the Homabay access to information structures include 1, Office of the Official Government Spokesperson, and for the first time in this regime, we are seeing dispatches of information which were not there in the previous regime. We are seeing some update from the government spokesperson on what is taking place, dispatches from the cabinet, dispatches from the departmentals, and another sector we had the sub-county administration office, water administration office, and the village clusters, which are used as the source of the information. Continue, please. So, the key finding which is very there, and Waziri, I know you have a special team which will work on this. Homabay County does not have an access to information law or policy, and what we should be asking ourselves, is the law at the national level adequate for us to continue applying these things? Only 40% of access to information requests are made through letters. This denotes low awareness among citizens and the provisions of the access to information. So CSOs who are here, both from Migori and Homabay, we have work there to acquaint the citizens on the procedures of access to information. Sub-county and ward administrators have information on budget allocations, project details like implementation status and plans, contractor details like name, project amount and timelines, among others. This is improvement compared to the last regime. You could go to the ward administrator's office and you could not get these information. But for now, the ward administrators are confirming that they have these information, project allocations, project details, and the other documents. Majority of citizens, 60%, feel that access to information avenues are not effective due to 1, lack of physical offices of some ward administrators. Some ward administrators do not have physical offices, and we shall be giving examples, some of the which were quoted. Then there's also weak feedback after the public participation. Once the public participation has been done, there is no eloquent feedback and structure which is given to the public. The inadequacy of printed versions of policy documents. Government officials in developing units are using digital platforms like WhatsApp, just as you said, to disseminate information. But most citizens do not see these platforms as access to information avenues. There are notable efforts to facilitate access to information for PLDs, including having a sign language interpreters in public meetings and government offices. It is only here where we have failed and we don't have one sign language interpreters, msitufunge, inakwanga hivyo. Then we have the PWDs are holding government elections only meetings. Now, these are the top 5 information requests from the citizens. Now, you see the budget allocations, the project information, contractor details, service related. So, in the percentage, project informations and implementation status are the most of the information which the citizens in Homabay County request from the arbiters which we have. Continue. Now, challenges faced by developing units in facilitating access to information. 1 is inadequate logistical support like airtime, physical offices for ward administrators, and cost for mobilization for these meetings. Another challenge is untimely dissemination, flow of information from the county headquarters. Another challenge is low public awareness of the request for information process. Another one is lack of clear communication and coordination structures with the county, and lack of information officers to facilitate access to information in the county. These are key challenges which we should be noting down. In the second theme on civic education and public participation, Homabay County currently does not have a public participation and civic education law. The process of formulating one is yet to be completed, because even on the previous day, we kicked off the public participation for Homabay County, public participation bill, and still we have lack of civic and public participation law that has resulted in a weak model for civic education and integration of civil society in public participation and oversight. So we have to work on this quickly. Devolved units in Homabay County provide civic education to county residents, which they are doing, but factors for that to determine civic education, there is a need to conduct civic education on each development project, for each development project which is yet to be initiated by the county. There needs to be proper coordination between administrators, which allows for the timely communication, and also weekly community barazas that provide platform for conducting civic education, and presence of CSOs that conduct civic education in different wards. In our findings, citizens appear to be unaware of county government-driven civic education activities, with the majority attributing civic education to only CSOs and only the IEBC. Now, this is how devolved units conduct civic education in Homabay County. And you can see the public forum takes a lead, because sometimes they're opportunistic. You can see where the notice boards are, and also how they collaborate with the CSOs, which is also at the 60%. Let's move. Challenges that the devolved units face in delivering civic education. One is over-reliance on forums organized by other players like CSOs or departments. Two, limited resources to facilitate their movement and enable them to convene public meetings. Three, limited training opportunities to equipment with the knowledge and skills they need to provide civic education on governance matters. Some reported that they have been trained on climate change and SDGs. Then the final one is political interference, politicization of civic messages by the political class. Homabay County approach to public participation. Homabay County, Mr. Orero from Migori, we have we have a village to county public participation structure that facilitates citizen participation in the key governance and development process. Now, we have established 16-member teams at every level: professionals, opinion leaders, religious leaders, and sector representations. Citizens rated the effectiveness of county efforts to facilitate public participation through this model. One, what is working in this model? That at least public participation venues are accessible. This model makes the public participation venues very, very accessible. But what is not working is that there are short notices, selective invitation of participants, and late commencement of meetings. I know this is one area of where we shall be looking at keenly. Now, on the feedback challenge, there are instances when citizens' inputs are not included in the final documents and they don't know why. Luckily enough, we have a member of county assembly who will also respond to that one. Another issue is that citizens are only involved in identification of projects and rarely know the project progress. While each project has a project management committee, there seems to be poor linkage between the PMCs and the community members. So, as you can see in this chart, although devolved units mostly rely on public fora to conduct civic education, the majority, 65%, don't have known schedules for these participation sessions. Homabay County appears not to have standard requirement for frequency for citizens forums. Majority of devolved units reporting that they conduct meetings on a monthly basis and when the county announces for the public forum. So you can see the type of support provided to development units by the county headquarters to facilitate the public participation. So the administrators accepted there is provision of logistical support at 80%. That is a very good improvement in this regime. There is a budgetary support. There is timely access to information, and also providing facilities for some utilities like office equipment. Now, challenges in civic education and public participation. One, inadequate support for travel and logistics, particularly for units that are vast and are difficult terrain. When you want Suba, like Suba South and Gwase South, the word admins their complaint of those terrain and inadequate logistics of support. Then insufficient airtime and resources to convene meetings, e.g. cost of mobilization and hiring chairs. Delays in disseminating information that involved units need to facilitate public participation. High financial expectations from the members of the public. Lack of capacity training opportunities for the administrators involved. And negative public participation towards public participation. The capacity challenge. The Homabay County has established offices for the sub-county and ward administrators and recruited officers for these officers as per Section 50 and 51 of the County Government Act 2012. Offices for village administrators are yet to be established. Majority of administrators in development units feel they lack sufficient capacity to perform their functions, effectively due to, one, lack of well-equipped offices. They need office spaces, furniture, computers, electricity, particularly for ward administrators. There is a lack of transport equipment like vehicles or motorcycles. Citizens in wards like Rusinga Island, Homabay Central, and Gwase South reported unreliability of services at the ward administrators' offices occasioned by absence of the physical office. Majority say they could not find adequate information in these offices. The last thing is public compliment and complaint mechanism. Homabay County currently lacks guidelines for receiving, processing, and providing feedback on public compliments and complaints handling. Direct engagement is the main avenue for public complaints and complaint handling. This includes direct meetings, reports to relevant officers, including the governor, public participation meetings, community meetings, digital platforms, direct phone calls to government officials. Only 38% of the devolved units consider their offices as effective in receiving, processing, and providing feedback, public complaints, and complaints on service delivery. Compliments and complaints are mostly raised and responded to verbally, all through digital messaging platforms. Records are rarely maintained. Citizens' perspective on compliment and complaint mechanisms. 40% of the respondents rated Homabay County's compliment and complaint mechanism as poor and 30% as fair. The main reasons for this cause are: 1, lack of open days, complaints desks, and suggestion boxes in devolved units. In devolved units. That's a keyword. Absence of devolved offices at ward level made it difficult for them to launch complaints. Lack of a clear system for reporting, reviewing, and addressing public complaints and compliments. Delays in addressing complaints raised by citizens and limited structures for raising complaints. This is what one of the citizens told us in Arujo. The only place we raise complaints are public consultation forums, community dialogues, direct calls to FC offices, and written petitions, which are never replied to. That is a statement from a citizen from Arujo. Homabay County uses its administrative structure to facilitate compliment and complaint handling. These include, they have liaison officers who receive process complaints and compliments and general reports. So this is improvement which you are seeing in this current regime. There's a director of service delivery and project delivery unit that engages directly with the end users of all county-funded projects. There's a complaint books, some departments, but not all departments that have the complaint books. Project management committees, which we have at the level, whereby every county-funded project has a project management committee that spearheads public participation and oversees implementation of the projects. We have the digital structures, which this administration has really improved. A county official website has a complaint and complement portal, so the county's official social media platforms also receive feedback from the public. Telephone, people register their complaints directly with the governor through messaging. We realized that one, that the governor has opened some direct WhatsApp groups. And personally, I also tested, and I got the response after 5 minutes. So I think that one is a good one. Can we clap for that one? Yeah, clap to you, clap to Yeah. Now, we have challenges faced by the board units, public compliments and complaints handling. One, we have lack of clear structures and protocols for handling complaints. Untimely flow of information on issues like bursary disbursement that require consultation. Lack of complaint handling infrastructure like complaints desks and citation boxes. Delays in getting feedback of escalated complaints. Inadequate resources like well-equipped ward administrator's office, which we also mentioned earlier. So you'll find in all these thematic areas, some key challenges are cross-cutting. Now, finally, these are the key recommendations. Homabay County government needs to formulate at least 4 services charters in the following units of service delivery under department responsible for governance. So these are the key thematic areas the citizens need the agreement of work between the county government and them as citizens. 1, the public service compliments and complaints unit, public participation and civic education unit, public communication unit and access to information unit, the centralized units, that is the sub-county and ward administrators. Now, the citizens recommended that the county government should fast track the formulation and approval of laws, policies and guidelines to create an enabling environment for the public participation and social accountability. To strengthen the central units through costing and financing the operations, establishing equipment at the ward offices and equipping them with information and capacity of building of sub-county and ward administrators. Sub-county and ward administrators should regulate citizen forums for deliberations of emerging issues, budget presentation and feedback sharing. Homabay County should use the digital platform to document and analyze public participation feedback, and also we recommend that Homabay County publish and publicize budget and project information. Then another recommendation, Homabay County government to strengthen linkages between the developed units and the county headquarters for free, adequate and timely flow of information. Then second last, to establish civic education unit, county ombudsman, access to information officer and village units to spearhead government efforts to foster public participation and social accountability. Project management committees should be trained on their roles and responsibilities and equipped with the project information to make them effective. Those are the findings and the recommendations from this citizen report card. Thank you for listening to us. Now, I'm handing back to the director, who will now go to the remarks over the findings and recommendations. Thank you.
Did we give a good clap to Bwana Japheth? It wasn't good, so can you prepare? Prepare. Prepare, open it up, close. Our representative from Homabay University, we call upon you to also have comments on the remarks by the stakeholders. Daktari, karibu.
Good morning. I don't have much to say because basically my work is to teach, train. Although what I've seen here is a lot. You have to sit down with your colleagues and you tell those who are responsible openly what is it that you're doing within your own offices based on the responsibilities you've been given to make sure that some of those grievances or inadequacies are legitimate. That does not mean that within your department or your section you're not doing anything good. It does not mean like that. A good leader listens, and a good leader must always listen to what is not good. When you listen to everything that is good, then you should naturally know there's a problem. As a teacher, you're not supposed to get 100% result from all students. When you get 100% result from all students, it means either the exam was substandard or there was some leakage. There should be some feedback that is not adequate. And therefore, on my recommendations on what has been brought back, because questionnaires were sent out, results came back, and I've seen some graphs here with some analysis, which is very good. I'm a mathematician, I'm a physicist, by the way. I have a PhD in physics in quantum information computation. That's what I did. So basically what we get, we analyze everything, and we give valid results on everything. And therefore when you get results like what you're getting here, it is important that all the time those who are responsible should sit down, discuss with their colleagues, look at where there are pitfalls, and make some corrections on that. Otherwise, congratulations so much for those who did this research, and I think it will be a continuous process for monitoring and evaluation so that you can take Homabay County to greater heights. For those who want to do degree courses, we are welcome you to Homabay University. I'll do some physics. You can also tell your young boys and girls to come and join in the physics. Asanteni sana, na Mungu awabariki sana. I am Dr. Mayero. I think I never introduced myself. I am Dr. Mayero.
Good morning. Okay, thank you so much for having this opportunity to come and witness the launch. It is a good research and it is worth emulating. So I hope it is still at zero draft, and I hope you will work to make it an official document so that it is implemented fully. Otherwise, asanteni sana.
Thank you for being brief. I will also be very brief because I'm following the trend of the Homabay people. First of all, kindly receive greetings from the great people of Migori County. Secondly, I wish to take this opportunity to thank the county government of Homabay, led by Her Excellency, the governor, that is one, you call her Nyarwapi, Nyarwangaya. But for us today, we also want to give her a nickname, Gladys Governor, Triple G. So you pass our regard for Migori County with that new name, Gladys Governor, Triple G. We also take this opportunity to thank the civil society organization from Homabay by extending the invitation to come to this great event. Thank you so much. I may not give direct contribution to whatever that has been given to us, but I will also provide, I will be talking directly to county government of Homabay, our development partners present, and then the civil society organizations present. Number one, civil society organizations are non-political. We don't engage in politics. So as I'm standing here, I'm not speaking as a politician, but I'm non-political. Secondly, we represent the voice of the voiceless. And I want two people to get us right. We are representing the voice of the voiceless. The information that we have been given today has come from the citizen. So from there, you can get to understand what the citizens of Homabay want. That is the work that we are supposed to do. We represent the voice of the voiceless. So, for a county government to operate effectively well, in order also for the county government to get the point of the voice of the voiceless, you need to engage with the civil society organizations through representation. And I would request that the county government of Homabay, in all their developmental issues and the committees, Chairman Civil Society in Homabay, ensure that you engage with the county government so that those development committees are gazetted. Personally, I represent civil society organization in Migori in County Court Users Committee. So when I sit there, all the information from the people I always present. So when the committees are gazetted, you don't raise audit queries. And that is when they are also legitimate. According to this report, you can easily realize that the development committees in Homabay County, either they have not been done or they are not gazetted. So for the county government to operate and engage with the citizens very well, kindly please ensure that those development committees are gazetted and representation is done by competent civil society organization. Also, the county implementing development partners, like for this case, Uraia. You could see now what Uraia has done to the county government of information. Through that support, we have realized this report. So Wasili, make an effort to ensure that all the county implementing development partners are identified, you know what they do, and you also engage them in those committees, right from the ward level, so that the information that comes from the members of the public reaches the governor as fast as possible, and also the development partners meet their objectives. So that is in terms of representation. Number two, let us understand the areas we are operating in. It is only in Kenya where 3 is more than 4. So I may be speaking in parable because I don't want to involve in politics. It is only in Kenya where 3 is more than 4. It is only in Kenya where at the national government there is official opposition, but at the county government that official position is now the government. A good example is in Homabay County, Sawasawa. So it is also in Kenya where you find 48 governments, not one government, 48 governments. It is also in Kenya where you find non-government officials can speak to the citizen the same way I'm doing it. Because I don't work for the government for sure. I'm not working in the county government of Migori. I'm the Secretary General for Civil Society in Migori. And even in Migori, I speak for the government. So you can see the beauty in Kenya. It is beauty and also tricky. In the past, you could not find a civil society leader speaking to the citizen and also the government. So it is only in Kenya where you find non-governmental officials sit and also discuss government matters. And lastly, it is only in Kenya where you find citizens knows their right. In Kenya, we no longer require political liberalism. Apana. In Kenya, we seriously require economic liberalism. And this is what the statistic that we have been given today should address. We require economic liberalism. We no longer require political liberalism. So for the county government of Homabay, we should be able to understand the environment in which we are operating, so that you don't accuse Waziri hapa when there is inadequate resources for Waziri to go to Buase, Magonga, huko chini, to launch a project, while the system and environment Waziri is operating sometimes becomes a bit cumbersome. So let us all understand the environment in which we are operating, so that we don't blame our county government officials unnecessarily. We don't blame our development partners when it is us who are not giving them the opportunity to serve us. I'm talking like that so that we understand the environment in which we operate in Kenya, so that we move as a team. But I'm saying what we need most is an economic liberation. We no longer require political liberation. Because if you are economically liberated, I can tell you for sure, even this parking would have been expanded. So let us go for economic liberation. Whatever we do, let us liberate our people economically. Then lastly, this statistic, there is something very important which they have not captured. The involvement of media. Media informs, entertains, and also educates. There's a period in Migori County, we used to have power blackout. When it is just 5 minutes to 7 p.m. news, power goes off. Then what I did, I called one of the media houses and I said, the Kenya Power Manager, I've given you 3 days. We shall be coming to the station with those who did not have the power for the last 3 days. If this power is disconnected again, 3 days we shall be there. So you see, I was just seated in my sitting room, but in darkness. So when the media aired it, that after 3 days, those who had a power blackout will go to the station, the following day, manager has to apologize to the members of the public, and to date, that power has never been disconnected the same way it was being disconnected. But I was just a small one sitting in my sitting room. So you can see the power of the media. Even our meeting today, I would wish that the county government of Migori, of Homabay, Waziri, this information that we have been given is not bad. I've looked at it. Please also let us engage the media to make sure that the people who get the information also get the feedback. That will be very important for us. Otherwise, because this function is not mine, I was just invited courtesy of the same society in Homabay. We would wish that next time when we shall also be having a similar function like this, we shall be able to invite you. Our chairman, Dr. Tobias Joel Ogola, rushed to a meeting in Nairobi, and that's the reason why he's not here. Most of you, I think, knows him. This year we shall be having a number of occasions that requires the partnership, engagement with other counties. So when we extend our invitation to the civil society organization in Migori County and also the Homabay County government. Please just come the same way we have come. And lastly, to the development partners, even in Migori, we embrace the development partners a lot. We have already engaged with the
gonjwa baya kifuani, tushambulie tufanye kwa matibabu kamili. Mgonjwa mwenye tufanye ako hewani, huvisambaza viini tukutako hewani, kambiru wa makafuni ikaanza Firauni. Tushambulie tufanye kwa matibabu kamili. Makozi yao na ukumbuke uzani, mwili joto lisoponi, usiku usingizini, ishara hizo bayana, kuna gonjwa la tufani. Tushambulie tufani kwa matibabu kamili. Mara tu ukitambua sifa za hizo tufani, sianze kupiga dua. Tiba ni nguzo amini, madaktari wajue wanavyotibu tufani. Tushambulie tufani kwa matibabu kamili. Usafi nguzo muhimu, tangu kinga na tufani. Hakika kila sehemu hewa yapita vyumbani, funika domo mulamu, usisambaze viini. Tushambulie tufani kwa matibabu kamili. TB haramu, watu wote huwashika, fukara wenye viraka, matajiri watajika, wazee waliochoka na vijana kadhalika. Tushambulie tufani kwa matibabu kamili. Ninyi mnaotazama, mna jukumu hakika, ubaguzi mtakoma. Wapendeni bila shaka, watunzeni kwa heshima na watapona haraka. Tushambulie tufani kwa matibabu kamili. Mwisho wetu umefika, twaenda kupumzika. Pembe zote mkifika, ujumbe wetu peleka. Afya yetu tanyooka, maisha yatarefuka. Tushambulie tufani kwa matibabu kamili. Shukran.
We had a small budget, but when we told you about this citizen report card, you took it seriously and added us some funds to finalize the part of the citizen report card. But as I'm standing here, Mr. Lois, I'm requesting on behalf of Homabay that you permit us spiritually. We finalized the civil service charter for Homabay County, for the Department of Governance, and if you permit us, by mid-February, we shall have a draft service charter for the Department of Governance. Without wasting time, let me invite the coordinator, Uraia Trust, who will then invite the civic education, the civic management manager. I know, coordinator, Homabay has been history for you. You started a long time ago. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bwana Japheth, Madam Waziri, the directors, chief officers around. Good afternoon. I have been given a very humble task of inviting my senior. Up to this point, everything has been possible because of his office's support and the very able team led by Japheth Ojijo. It has been a long process, and I have a team of 10 civic educators, each in every sub-county. I would request them just to stand, those here, and wave. The first one, the gentleman is Calvin. He's in charge of Dewa constituency. We call him Waziri. He's actually a lawyer. Thank you so much, Bwana Calvin, for finding time. We have Olivia Owor, who is in charge of Super North, also with us, a very hardworking young lady, selected out of the 10. Then we have our host here, Helen Otieno, who is in charge of Homabay Town constituency, has done a very commendable job, as you can see from the report that they presented. My senior, we have a document that is citizen-centered as an approach to solving the citizen expectations. Most of the time we have citizens who have a lot of expectations, as was hinted in our first speak, that citizens have a lot of expectations on the elected leaders and the appointed ones. But we now have a document that is going to solve their own expectations from their own point of view. Without wasting much time or taking too much time, as has been hinted by Japheth, that we are short on time, I would like to request my senior, Bwana Lois Moi, the Civic Engagement Manager, Uraia Trust, based in Nairobi. Please clap for him as he comes. Thank you so much, Bwana Lois, for finding time, and I hope you enjoy your stay in Homabay. Very good.
Waziri, Chief Officers, Directors, CSO leaders, and the citizens of Homabay, good afternoon. It's good to be in Homabay. And as we talk, I think Homabay is trending well. We are moving well. If you hear Homabay among the 47 counties, I think last government, before election, we had Makueni trending. But if we go this way in Homabay, I think now will be the leading. So keep that trend so that you can be the leading county in Homabay. So I'm happy to be here today to be with you, representing Uraia. So first receive greetings from Uraia Management, our Executive Director, and the whole team. Uraia is a good partner of Homabay County. We have been working together for a long time. And I can see Mr. Mokaya. I think it's a long time. Then there was Dr. Ongeko, and there was Susan. I think that's where we started the journey. And the things we discussed, I think we are now seeing the fruits. We are talking about civic education framework, issue of public participation, and we can see there is a trajectory on how we are moving. Also received greeting from our development partner, Danida. I think Danida is also a friend of Homabay. They are the ones funding these projects, and also they are supporting health services in Homabay. So they have been good partner, and we wish to keep on working together and strengthening governance, strengthening service delivery, strengthening engagement between citizens and the government. So as Uraia, mostly we encourage engagement where when citizens are working, we collaborate with government. How do we work together as citizens and the government? That is why you see like we are supporting IDF, but the key factor is to ensure that they work with the government department. So government have plan and all the other issues. So how do they work together and ensure that we mobilize citizens, we more engage cohesively as citizens of Homabay County, so that we have that positive engagement and also open governance, so that we're able to improve on service delivery and ensure that there is that good governance. So as Uraia and Danida, we have three key things that we look at. The first is building what we call this ecosystem that delivers civic education and also promotes civic engagement or public participation. For developments to be achieved, for good governance, that open governance requires us to have that ecosystem. And when we talk about ecosystem, we have our county government, the department, and all the others. Then we have the citizen formation, the CSOs, the faith-based organizations, the trade unions, the professional bodies. How do we work together in these ecosystems and ensure in Homabay County we don't work citizens in one side, the county government in another side, but this ecosystem that delivers on effective public participation and also civic education. If you look at the research, some of emerging issues our counties have limitation on funding. If we talk about civic education, we have CSOs in Homabay doing civic education. Public participation, we have CSOs in Homabay facilitating public participation. So if you have this ecosystem where we come together, converse, discuss issues, bringing the state and the state actors, you'll find that that challenge will be addressed because we build synergy and ensure that civic education takes place in all the wards and villages in Homabay County. So we encourage the citizens, the state actors and state actors to work together and build this ecosystem in Homabay where there is open governance, open engagement, access to information so that we are able to deliver on good governance and also service delivery. Our partner, Danida, also talks much about accountability. And when we talk about accountability from our perspective, it's not only looking at the government or the county government. How about the citizens? Are we engaging in these processes and are we accountable? If you are an employee of the county government, you are that citizens taking or enjoying services in that facility. Are you ensuring that there is accountability in management of these public resources? So accountability is for both of us, the county government officials and also the citizens. And this can only happen when we are working together and ensuring that we participate in these public participation sessions, we request for information, we work together, and we have evidence-based programming like what we are, the research findings that we are seeing, evidence-based. So if it is on access to information, we see what's happening, then what do we improve? Public participation, what's happening? Feedback and all the other, and then how do we improve on that? So accountability is very important to us, and this calls for participatory monitoring, which involve both the county government and the citizen. How do we ensure that citizens monitor county government? And also county government monitor how citizens participate. So if you have this strong ecosystem where we engage, then we'll have that participatory monitoring process, and then we bring in the issue of UTU, issue of human dignity, if it is county government, official in service delivery, in health sector, education and all the other. We observe UTU in our work so that we ensure that services are delivered well. Even when we are giving bursary, the leaders, we observe UTU. We have the most needy, according to the law and all the other. Are they the ones receiving that? So those are the issue of accountability, issue of UTU, issue of building the ecosystem, and it requires the state actors and non-state actors to come together and ensure that we work together and improve on service delivery. So it has been a long process, and we congratulate and appreciate IDF who led the process, and also county government for opening up and being able and allowing IDF to drive the process, but we also participated. Sometimes things like this happens, but when the government is not open, like giving feedback when there's research and all the other. But in Homabay, I think there is that platform that we have built where we work together. So we congratulate IDF and also the government official who engaged in the process. And now it's upon us to look at the findings of the research, look at the recommendation, and then each stakeholder takes a role in implementation. So when we talk about the findings and the recommendation, it's not only for the county government. As CSO, what is required from us to ensure that those recommendations come to fruition? We're talking about citizens maybe are not engaging in public participation. How do we work with county government to ensure that we create awareness to these citizens, we engage them so that they can participate in these processes? So when we look at this research, to me, it's not about county government, but it's about the ecosystem, the stakeholders. Everyone should take their role and run with it to ensure that we implement the finding of the research. Then secondly, the issue of service delivery. And if you look at the access to information, you look at public participation, civic education, we look at giving feedback. If all this happens, and there is efficiency in ensuring that there is public participation. People identify the projects they need, they get feedback and all the others, then it will be easy for the county leadership and also for the county to deliver services, because people are now part of government. So the citizens and the county government, let's work together in service delivery and all the other issues. Then the other one, the process we started on development of the law, I think is late. The county government or the county government of Homabay should have that public participation law now, by now. Because that is the platform which guides on how public participation takes place within the county. So I think, Mheshimiwa, that is another area. If you can take in charge and work with others so that the county can have that law which will guide public participation in the county, it will be so effective. I think you have come with a model, but if you don't have the law, I think the law should come first, policy first, law, and then it will end up with the model. Then the process will be done well, and it will alleviate some of the challenges we are talking about. So that's another area, I think it's a recommendation. So can we look at that and work together so that our county can have that public participation law? Then on civic education, I think the challenge is more towards, if you look at the county government, yes, they can do something on project, but due to limited funds, I think they cannot do a lot. So how do we build synergy so that CSOs, we have so many CSOs in Homabay County, including faith-based. How do we partner to ensure that we do civic education? We assist our county government on issue of civic education and work together on different issues. And this one calls for partnership between the county government and the CSO, there's the CSO network, so that we can even do mapping and all the other, and the civic education reaches all parts of county. The other area is on the involved units. I think we are still at the ward level, and the most important level of the village. That's another area we have to look at. Can it be created? Because there is where the citizens are. How do they organize themselves at the village level, looking at issue of public participation, looking at service delivery and all that. So when we have that law and all the other structure, if we are able to go up to the village level, then it also alleviates some challenges, even civic education. Those women groups within those villages, they can sit under a tree. We have an empowered village administrator sit with them when there are public participation functions. Will not require a lot of funds. So those are the structure we can be looking at to address some of these issues. Otherwise, I think it's a good report looking at access to information. How do we strengthen that? The recommendations are there. And when we talk about access to information, is they receive that information and also we look at feedback. I think that's where there's a lot of challenge. Even when we do budget process and all the other, let's give feedback. They ask you, we identified projects, but we are not seeing it in the plan. But if you just tell them the issue why it's not there, maybe it's due to funding or it was not in our development plan, then that feedback is very important. And that one leads us to another area. Even when we talk about public participation, is it just public participation? The citizens have to know first the county integrated development plan. That is the basis for public participation. And that's the challenge which many counties have. Because the people who conduct public participation don't know this. They just call people for public participation instead of concentrating on the county integrated development plan. They start bringing in new projects which are not in the plan. So that's another area of civic education. Do our citizens, county citizens, know about the Homabay County Integrated Development Plan? Did they participate? So that in all public participation, they are doing budget, they are doing planning, there are those hearing. The focus or the guide is the County Integrated Development Plan. They know the projects which are there, which have been identified, and then they do the proposal. So it's a good initiative, looking at the access to information, looking at public participation, looking at feedback mechanism, and also looking at how to strengthen our county devolved unit. So let's take this recommendation positively, all of us, the state actors and the executive actors, and sit together and act so that we are able to implement this. The county executive, the departments, you take what belongs to you, then you include them in your policy and implementation. The county assembly, we also have a representative. The issue that involve laws, we take care of that, and then the citizens or the CSOs, how do we engage with the citizens and the county government. So from here is to thank you all and also IDF, county government for good work, and we'll continue the process. I think we had agreed on the service charter. So it's part of this process, so I like to see it up to the end, so that have that product. So for support, count on that, we do that and we conclude, including all the other engagements. So I'm happy to be here and appreciate the warm welcome and the engagement which has taken place. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Sisi tunaendelea tumemaliza. It has been approved.
Thank you so much. I wish you have given him a deserving clap, and let's open it up and close it. At this point, allow me to call the chief of my division, Dr. Majiwa, come and speak to the remarks of this report.
Thank you, Director. Good afternoon, colleagues. Are you tired? Good afternoon. To our loved Waziri, and standing on a well-established protocol, I'm Dr. Majiwa, the Chief Officer for Stakeholder Management, Public Participation, Special Projects and Disaster Management. I'll not talk much because I think a lot have been said. IDF through Uraia and other development civil society organizations that you're working together, we highly appreciate the work that you have done, the report that you are given. The whole idea of doing a good report based on research is that it can give you things you like and things you don't like. But both things you like and those you don't like will inform you on how you move forward. Just to say, the idea of coming up with a citizen service charter is in the law. The Kenya 2010 Constitution really gives the citizens, the public, the right to be involved in all government, national and county government projects. So they have to be engaged. The way they should be engaged should be displayed, really. The government should tell the citizens what project, what services, whatever they offer to the citizen. And they cannot develop that in a boardroom. That has to come from the people. You have to engage the people. If you are saying that we are providing, we want to make a slaughterhouse and we want to do public participation, how best do we do that? And the government structure goes down up to the county admin and chiefs. And so you follow that protocol and engage the people before you do any project. And so in signing the contract with the people, the government has a contract with the people. That contract, the governor signed it, Waziri signed it, chief officer signed it, and you signed it, the director signed it. One of the areas that will be evaluated on is the development of citizen service charter. And that what informed us approaching our developing partners to help us do this, to gather the information, so that when we finally come up with the citizen service charter, Jeff said that from this report that we need to have about 4 of them, but we'll see how we can condense that, because we are only one department, and there are many departments within the county government. And so when we approached them and they agreed to go and do the hard work and reach to the very, very lowest level in the community and gather the opinion of the good people of Homabay on how we need to put our charter, what information. You're saying, the report is saying that you know, how information gets to the people is not easy, and the people are not getting the feedback on what they require on. And some of these things require timelines. And so, to me, this report, I don't think anybody who has done it this way, maybe we are the first one. Nowadays, Homabay is always leading. We always engage our people, and all the projects we do is people-driven. And the service charter that will come out from this report will be people-driven by evidence, because it is consolidated there. And we still work this journey together with our good people over a year. I have no much to say. Some of the suggestions, some of the findings that have come out of this report, also us as leaders, we have experienced them. And so there's nothing, I don't think there's nothing that is out of, you know, the report is trying to exaggerate anything. And so we'll take the information positively with the guidance of them as well to come up with a service charter that I hope and pray that will also be launched like this one. And the sooner the better. We are in the second quarter of the financial year. This should have been done in the first quarter. Otherwise, we are very grateful as a department, as a division, and as a county for the work that has been done by our development partners. Allow me to invite my senior colleague, Chief Isaac Ongeri, to say something.
Okay. So, afternoon once more. First, to comment on the report that has just been approved. I think it was spot on. It has identified the gaps that, of course, most of us have seen over the time that we've been here. And in the long run, this report is definitely going to help us to try to address some of the challenges that we faced in enhancing service delivery and promoting good governance in the county. Some aspects of that report touched on areas that I am aware we're already working on, especially on the matter of grievance redress, complaints management, that sector, that particular area. And I wanted to comment that though the report highlighted quite a number of gaps, as a department we're already working to make sure that these challenges are taken care of. And in that, so that this can enable us to enhance citizen participation and improve service delivery, as well as promote good governance. What we have done is that we are leveraging on technology to be able to ensure that we are able to manage feedback and manage complaints that come from the citizens. In order to make this work for us, we've already set up a complaints center somewhere at the prefabs, which we are setting up. and I know that in a short while it will be able to be operationalized. But as we wait, we've already put in place a mechanism for grievance redress and a complaint management, where we now have a county grievance redress and complaint management committee with several members drawn from different sectors in government, and they have been meeting to look at some of the complaints that are coming from the citizens. And as we leverage on technology to make this happen, we've developed a tool, a web-based tool that we are using to receive complaints from the public. It is available through our website, where we have put an email-enabled system where the public can type in their complaints. We receive them through our officers who are managing the grievance redress center. Since we started, we've received quite a number of complaints. These range from corruption. We get reports on harassment of citizens. We get reports on omissions by officers on what they're supposed to do. And also we get compliments from the citizens on things that we do right. We are going to enhance activities around this so that we're able to also give feedbacks as we get these reports from our people. For example, we recently it has been very interesting actually interacting with the citizens through the mechanism that we are putting in place. We get this information from the public as raw as possible. And we recently got a complaint of involving a hospital somewhere in the greater Rachuonyo, where nurses were beating up one of the expectant mothers who was at the hospital. And someone narrated that incident. We received it. Of course, when we do, we share it with the department responsible, and then they take action. So that is how this whole thing works. So this is meant to enable us to, to enhance our accountability, which is key, and also promote democracy, and enhance our space within the open society as a government. As you know, this government has inherited from the previous regime would probably have been a Somalia if it was a country. So this is why you see a lot of gaps here and there because of the transition that is still being found out, given that we are only 1 year in the office. So how the complaint mechanism works is that we have an online dashboard from where we visually track the complaints, and then our people process them. They are supposed to be brought before the committee, and then feedback given to people, and responses given to the people who raised them. Where further investigations is required, then that is to be arranged. So that is how we hope to get this done. And to make it work better, we are proposing that we'll develop a grievance redress mechanism policy, which then will enable all departments to develop to do a grievance redress mechanism plan, which then they will attach to their project plan, so that in the course of running their programs or projects, when grievances arise, then they have a way to address them. And this is a standard procedure for project implementation in many projects that are funded by development partners like World Bank. Further, we've developed a project management dashboard just to enhance, transparency, from where we'll be able to know, to track budgets, project timelines, and the project progression of those projects. then this will be made available to the citizens. The aspects that the citizens should see will then be made to pop in the main dashboard of the website. And internally, our project managers, the chief officers, the directors, will be given access to be able to track their projects, where they are, whether they have been finished, whether the project, whether the contractors are on site, whether they have been paid. This is something we've developed, and last time I tried to show how it's working. This is meant to make sure that we increase efficiency in project delivery, and we are going to hand over this one to the delivery department, our delivery unit, so that then they are able to feed in data from what they get from their side. We believe that together with our partners, if we work together, then we will be able to achieve more, so that the social accountability can then make meaning for people. Thank you so much. Do I call them in the absence of, I can see the director is coming. Oh yes. Let me call our chair of the Governance and Administration Committee, Honorable Winger, who also make comments on the report. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. I'm very much happy with what our people have done. They have done a lot, and they have done a lot of research of what our citizens face. I stand in for our members of County Assembly, and what I've seen here is that most of the things which have been said here cast across all our wards, because we find that when we do these public participations, citizens have a lot of expectations on us when they see us around. Sometimes, if you don't give what they want, you'll find them shouting at you. So we have a lot of challenges as members of the county assembly in our wards. Now, if it will be implemented as our chief officer said, I think even us will get it easy to interact with them easily. Again, the challenges we are facing are the projects. If there are some projects which should be done in our wards, you will find that after doing the public participation, you'll just be told that the contractor has already come in the site without you being informed. So you just go there as a visitor. You try to find the number of the contact of the contractor from the public. Now they wonder if you are the MCA and you are the one who is finding the contact of the contractor from them. So if all this can be done well, the way our chief officer said, I think we'll get it easy to interact with our electorates and the citizens. I don't have much to say. I will only congratulate those who did this research on behalf of the County Assembly. Thank you very much.
Now let me take this opportunity probably to invite our CEC, the Honorable Grace Osewe, to come and also make some remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. Good afternoon. Mheshimiwa Alice, Chief Officers, Directors, our sub-county administrators, deputy directors, all the staff, our special guests from Migori. By the way, we have a special day. The third day of the conference is Elder Day, so Migori can come and present. And we've thought about all of you. We care about all of you, other counties. IDF, represented by Javed and team, and Bwana Lois, welcome. Of course, Uraia, and by extension, the leader, Danish partners, the CSO network here in Homabay, the school kids who have since left, and of course the media. I see Latana here, great partner of ours. And everyone else who I might have left out. It's a pleasure to speak with you this afternoon. A lot has been said, so I will not speak a lot. I will just highlight a few things. So first of all, I bring you greetings from Her Excellency, Gladys Wanga, our governor, who, as you know, is very committed to promoting social accountability and citizen engagement, but even more importantly, has created an enabling environment for us to be able to have this kind of dialogue. I can assure you that this doesn't happen in all counties by any means, and so we appreciate that, and we appreciate the space to be able to work with partners like yourselves. This is an open door government. It's a government of the people. Now, several topics, several themes have been spoken about. There was the access to information, civic education and public participation and devolved units, and public compliments and complaints mechanism. I'll just mention a few things. So on the issue of access to information, a lot has been said. There are a number of gaps in that area. What I can assure you is that we're working on a legislative process that we have started and will be coming soon to the Assembly to make sure that we have an act and a policy and an implementation plan. In the area of civic education, the only thing I can say is that we've taken note of the issue around feedback, and when we regroup, we're going to look into that whole process, putting up some very robust feedback mechanisms that are just as good as our initial engagement with the people. And I've also taken note of the fact that in terms of citizen civic education, the CSO community is way ahead of the county. And we will engage more in that area while at the same time working very much in partnership with the CSO, because we don't have the spread, we don't have the breadth and the depth that you have in terms of your inroads and your connections within the community. And so we will continue to work with you on that. Now, in terms of public participation in the devolved units, we've heard you loud and clear. There is something that we have just put into place, which is a scheme of service for administrators. This will address some of the issues that have come up, such as issues around roles and responsibilities of administrators. And in terms of the physical office, this is a work in progress. You know that our county is a county of endless potential and limited resources. And so those of you who are very actively engaged, and I was outside, so I may not have heard our Chief Officer, Isaac Omiri may have already spoken about this. We are in the process of renovating offices, of doing some very limited construction, so that our administrators have somewhere comfortable to sit, and somewhere where people can come and speak to them in an open way. So that is a work in progress. This scheme of service also speaks to training, and so the issue of training had come up in the report. We will strengthen our administrators. We will ensure that they have somewhere where they can work. We have begun informal conversations with the Assembly to start the process of delineating village boundaries and then putting in place village administrators. That process, the legislative component, will progress. At the same time, we're also looking to the Assembly to help find a budget to implement them. That is probably going to be the biggest obstacle or the biggest challenge in ensuring that we have village administrators who are functional. I'm sure Isaac spoke to the issue of the compliments and the complaints mechanism, so I won't speak about that. What I will say is that we value the partnership of the people around the room here, and it is our commitment to integrate the civil society in our public participation and oversight as much as possible. We will be benchmarking as we have been doing, and addressing the gaps and strengthening the good practices. But really, what I want to say is that as we go ahead with implementation, because that's really the next step, there's not much more I can say that is not in the report or other speakers have not spoken about. But we invite you to work with us as we implement the recommendations of the Citizen Report Card and the development of the Service Charter. So thank you very much. We have an open door policy. You're welcome. And we look forward to taking this forward and being maybe the first county to not just develop this charter, but implement it to a standard, to a very, very high standard, that the people of Homabay can speak to the impact and the difference that they can see in terms of governance. I think that is our goal, this is not cosmetic, but we really, really want to make a change. That is what our governance is about. So thank you for coming, thank you for your support and your partnership, and I look forward to working with you to implement the recommendations of this report card.
Thank you, Waziri. And Teddy is telling me now that a high-ranking woman has spoken, it will be unfair for him to take the podium. Asante Teddy, nimechukua. We have 2 items to complete at this juncture. Allow me invite our CSO chairperson, our CCM, our honorable member here, Chief Karibuni, because the next thing we are doing now is launching the report and officially receiving it. Karibu. Uraia team, maybe we can have 2 directors join. I can see Director Ayeko. Karibu. Director Administration. This is Square Leonas, Karibu, one communication person. Director Zilpa, Karibu. And Migori team, our 2 sub-county administrators can join. Karibu. Lastly, someone from the disaster department, Karibu Jackie. We have BCS representation Pole karibu. Sasa si nadhani niliona najua kuiba.
So that we receive copies. Let's follow Waziri so that we receive copies. Tomboy representative, we are not seeing you here. Kindly come up front. Thank you very much, Migori County. Next to Raya Trust. Please come take a photo with Waziri. Led by Jape Potito. Yes, of course you are.
And yourself, Leon.
Yes, Homabay.
Kiasi kidogo tu. Acha ikaficha nitaanguka. Acha hivyo.
From the County of Endless Potential. Asante sana. Next we request our chief officers. We have Chief Ongere and Chief Majiwa.
Please stay there.
And lastly, our directors and Irene.
Homabay County directors,
kindly join the picture. Asanteni sana for that session. Thank you, Waziri. We have come to the end of this great event. As we look forward to the launch,
I would like to recognize, of course, the support from our partners, the Uraia Trust, working together with IDF, through Ojijo here, who've been part of us and part of this program throughout, providing means and ways to make this program to come to this level. We also appreciate the participation and support of all the other stakeholders who've been part of the program and planning and the research that has enabled us to come up with the report that has been launched today. Our CCM governance has been very, very committed to this program. He has given all our support and has always been with us throughout all these arrangements. We must recognize her support towards facilitating the department to be able to achieve this. As she said earlier, this is something that probably would not happen or is not happening in other counties. The participation and support that we've gotten from the county assembly cannot go without a mention. The county assembly has been has been giving us very good support, has been tolerating our request for appropriation to be able to support our other programs, thus complementing what our partners are bringing on board to enable us to come up with programs like this. The articulate manner in which the directors, stakeholder departments, that is Teddy and Zara, what they have done to coordinate all this, to link us up with partners, to make sure that everything is running as planned, to make sure that the timelines, are implemented, is something that we can't take for granted. That all of you managed to get time to be able to assemble here for this launch, and as patient as you are, is something we take is something that we really appreciate. Due to your combined participation, those that I've mentioned and those that I have not mentioned, you've enabled us to get to this level where we've been able to launch our citizens report. And as we wait for the finalization of the whole program, and as we anticipate to now launch the Citizens Charter, we hope that we'll continue to work together up to that level. Thank you so much.
Asante sana. Without further ado, allow me welcome Helen from Uraia to close with a word of prayer. Karibu Helen.
Waziri, to the county government, process to the tail end. A happy one, because when we started out, we were working with deadlines, and now when I see the smiles on your faces, I know something good is to come. Sindio? My name is Ellen again from Uraia, and nimerushiwa jukumu la kuomba. Tafadhali tunaweza simama. Shall we pray? Everlasting Father, creator of heaven and earth, we believed, and Lord, it has come to be. As we are about to embark on our daily duties, Jehovah, walk with us. May we walk in the spirit of Utu. May all that we do be in the spirit of guiding and helping and leading in a way that pleases you, Jehovah. Thank you for the leadership of this country. Place it into your hands. And we as people who believe in God, believe that anything placed at your feet will always work, Jehovah. I pray for anybody who's going through anything in this place, Lord. Meet them at their point of need. When we part, Lord, and when we sit down again to continue the processes, the process of making these county documents, Jehovah, may you lead the way. I pray all this, believing and trusting in Jesus' name. Mtanisamea, nakuwaga very nervous.
Just remain seated.
And